Ever get caught in a downpour and think, someone up there doesn't like me?
Haha, right.
Well, today's deep dive is about when that someone was actually the U.S. military.
We're talking about a time when the line between science fiction and military strategy got very, very blurry.
We're going to dig into Operation Popeye, a top-secret program during the Vietnam War.
And I'll tell you, the sources we found, they paint a picture straight out of a spy thriller.
Rainmaking, covert ops, international outrage, it's all here.
The goal today is to understand not just what they did, but why it mattered.
And why, even decades later, it still has people asking some tough questions.
Buckle up, because to get this, we got to go back to the jungles of Vietnam in the late 60s.
Not exactly known for its sunny disposition.
No, not at all. The U.S. was grappling with a very real problem, the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
That was the North Vietnamese supply line, right?
Exactly, and it was a thorn in the side of the U.S. military. This wasn't just some road, it was this massive network cutting through dense jungle, mountains, you name it.
Almost impossible to shut down.
So picture this. 1966, the war's raging, the trail's a problem, and someone throws out this wild idea, what if we could make it rain?
Wait, like artificially control the weather?
You're catching on. It wasn't some outlandish scheme. There was actually a scientific basis for it, cloud seeding.
Cloud seeding, that rings a bell, vaguely.
It had been kicking around since the 40s. The idea is simple.
Yeah.
You take a substance like silver iodide, disperse it into the air,
And it makes it rain.
Not quite that simple. The silver iodide acts as what's called ice nuclei, giving the water vapor something to condense around.
Okay, so you're essentially speeding up the natural rainmaking process.
Exactly. Of course, there are limitations. It had to be the right kind of clouds, the right temperature, even the wind mattered.
So not exactly flipping a switch and boom, instant downpour.
More like giving Mother Nature a nudge in the right direction.
And hoping she goes along with it.
Exactly.
So they could theoretically make it rain more, but did they actually try it in Vietnam? Like, did they send planes up?
Oh, they did. They really, really did. It was all very hush-hush, of course. From 67 to 72, over Laos specifically, they flew a crazy number of missions.
Over Laos. Why Laos if the trail, the target, was in Vietnam?
Ugh. That's the thing about the Ho Chi Minh Trail. It wasn't contained by borders. It actually went through Laos, Cambodia, too. Both neutral officially.
Yeah.
So yeah, these missions, they were like a secret within a secret. Just picture it. These planes, special equipment, sneaking over, using the monsoon as cover to make it rain even more.
Sounds like something out of a movie. But hold on, did it even work, all that rain? Did it really mess with the trail?
That's the big question, isn't it? And honestly, it's hard to say for sure. We've looked at weather data, and yeah, the monsoon seasons back then, way longer, something by a month or more.
Wow.
But here's the thing. Can we say that was all Operation Popeye? Hard to prove.
Okay, so maybe not totally conclusive, but a longer, harsher monsoon? That had to do something right. To the trail, to the soldiers.
You bet. Even if it didn't completely shut down the trail, which is what they'd hoped for, it made a bad situation way worse. Think about it. You're trying to move supplies through this jungle, and suddenly it's, well, more of a swamp than a road.
Total chaos.
Exactly. And you got to factor in the mental aspect for the soldiers, too. It's one thing to get rained on. It's another to think, hang on, is the enemy doing this to us?
Yeah, that'll get in your head. Makes the enemy feel even more powerful, more mysterious.
Exactly. It wasn't just the rain itself. It was the uncertainty, the not knowing. But hey, none of this was public knowledge back then, right? It was a secret.
Right, at least for a while.
For a while. 74, that's when details about Popeye got out. People were shocked. Angry. Here's this superpower, not just fighting a war, but messing with nature to do it. Talk about opening a can of ethical worms.
I bet. That's got to be a tough conversation to have.
It was huge. It wasn't just about one country or one war anymore. Suddenly, everyone was talking about environmental warfare, what's allowed, what's going too far.
So we've got this technology powerful enough to freak out the entire world. You'd think they just lock it up, never touch it again, right?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that's not quite what happened. See, for all the controversy, the core idea behind cloud seeding, it's not about control. It's about, well, giving a little push.
Right. Working with nature, not taking over completely.
Exactly. And that little push, turns out, it can be a lifesaver. Literally.
How so? You're not about to tell me they're using rainmaking for, like, good now, are you?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Remember, cloud seeding can help increase rainfall, and that's gold when you're dealing with drought.
Hold on. So this thing, this weaponized weather tech, is now helping farmers.
Sounds wild, but yep, It's used around the world to fight drought, save crops. Some places even use it to manage water resources, even make hailstones smaller so they don't damage crops.
From battlefield to farm fields, what a turnaround. Almost makes you wonder, is it too good to be true? Are there downsides we're not seeing?
Well, anytime you mess with something as complex as weather, you gotta be prepared for the unexpected, right?
Sure.
Unintended consequences. You nudge one part of the system, who knows what else is gonna shift, could disrupt natural balances, cause harm in ways we don't expect.
Like some kind of atmospheric domino effect. We try to make things better in one place and accidentally cause problems somewhere else.
Exactly. And this leads us to something even bigger. Not just tinkering with a few clouds, but trying to influence the whole planet. We're talking geoengineering.
Geoengineering, that's a whole other level.
It is. We're talking large-scale efforts to intentionally change Earth's climate systems.
Okay, so from making it rain on a battlefield to potentially controlling the whole planet's thermostat, that's a big leap.
It is a big leap, and it comes with even bigger questions. Should we even try to do this? Who gets to decide what changes we make? What are the risks, the rewards? We don't have all the answers, but we have to be asking these questions.
It's amazing, really. We started with a secret operation in Vietnam, and it's brought us to this, thinking about the future of the planet.
It shows you the power of this technology, right? And the responsibility we have. We have to learn from the past, think carefully about what we do in the present, because it all adds up.
Couldn't have said it better myself. A secret rainmaking operation, ethical dilemmas, and the future of the planet. This deep dive had it all. Until next time, thanks for listening.